million, $25,000, $10,500 grants. We have grants for renters, homeowners, disabled people, students, veterans, nonprofits, you name it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have grants for everyone. And for those of you who have been watching me from the jump since I started uploading this Grants for Everyone series, you know. And for those of you who do not know, you better ask somebody or click the subscribe button and click the bell notification. Stay on top of every resource that I encounter that I will tell you about as long as you watch this video until the end. That for you to take advantage of the better part of the grant funding, educational opportunities, and all of the resources available to you in the United States of America, the Mecca of capitalism. The U.S. Federal Reserve, baby, cemented in immense power. The reason the rent's too damn high. You do not have to come out of your pockets tens of thousands of dollars to build a brick and mortar storefront. You don't need special licensing. You don't even need good credit or an LLC or even a corporate structure. For many programs, you simply have to execute the act of selling something. And thus, once you start generating that non-W-2 filed income that you earn, not as an employee, but as a small business owner, you are part of the 33,185,550 small businesses in the United States that employ 61.7 million U.S. workers, 46.4% of the U.S. workforce, half of everybody employed in the United States. We constitute 99.9% of all small businesses. Come join the club and remember, a whopping 27,104,006 are what the Small Business Administration refers to as non-employer firms. It's official. Each of these organizations is a business that one person operates. You could start that right now by simply taking your used items that you have locked in your closet, in your garage, in your storage shelter, and flipping them on online marketplaces such as eBay, Mercari, electronics go like this on Craigslist. IKEA furniture goes like this. I always get 50% back of what I paid for it after using it for 2, 3, or 4 years, or as long as the piece of furniture lasts. As long as it's in working condition, I could still flip it. Now, do not get it twisted. You do not want to start a small business simply so you can have all of these funding opportunities available to you. You do it. At least I do it. I've never advocated for this. In fact, I don't advocate for anything. None of this is financial advice. It is simply what I am doing to help and save and feed my family, to ultimately help save this country and the rest of the planet and everyone that the true and living God has assigned to me. Give me comprehension in my heart. I have done it to simply draw from the benefit of the very act that makes me a small business owner, which is to sell something. Because if you are either selling used items on online marketplaces or you're selling a ride in the elevator from here to the moon, you have unlimited earning potential for you to build your generational wealth, to pass down to your kids' kids, and thus love thy neighbor, the true and living God's second most important commandment. We invest up to $2 million in seed funding and count that zero, equity, the America's Seed Fund. This is a federal agency that they have prided themselves in helping people, Americans, who have a technologically innovative yet risky idea that they want to bring to market. They have helped fund the internet, MRI, if I'm not mistaken, all kinds of state-of-the-art technologies, artificial intelligence. So if you have that idea, that's all you need. Because if you take a look at the landing page, they have all kinds of calls to action, submit a project pitch anytime. You click that button. And to get started, you watch this stuff. You want to get acclimated with the whole process. And you learn the basics. And then you submit a project pitch. When you submit the project pitch, you do not even have to have a small business in operation. Once they accept you, so you can take the next step in the application process, then you have to have your small business structured in one way or the other. Now, if you got some money, the best way to do it, not financial advice or anything legal, is to go through a lawyer that knows what he or she is doing, that can back whatever procedure he or she is executing on your behalf in the event there is a charge of action in the future against your organization, against any actions. So, once you have that established, or if you want to bootstrap it, you can go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter at bit.ly/Neil Rod. You leave your email address on the landing page and leave your first name. The welcome email will link you to our spreadsheet where I list links to information resources and application portals, to grants and all kinds of resources for small businesses, resources pertaining to artificial intelligence, free education, which is probably the most powerful tab on the spreadsheet. I will show you all the resources to which I link on this spreadsheet, and you will get a better idea as to what you need to do to go ahead and qualify for this thing by establishing your own LLC if you choose to do so. Not financial advice. I did it that way because I only came out of my pockets a little more than $100 to file my LLC through the Department of State on Florida. Nonetheless, I'm getting everything straightened out with a lawyer, with a legal representative, so I can ensure that I have all my paperwork and my trusts and everything that I own, all of my assets in order. So once you have that in place, then they fund you with up to $2 million. And you can find a link to it on our spreadsheet right here on the grants tab. Just go ahead and query seed fund right here. It is line 97 at this juncture, and we have these other opportunities available for people who operate a small business with, like I told you, launching and developing an asset with the sole objective of selling something. The beauty of it is, yes, you now qualify for all of these available resources in this country, private and governmental. I was able to get a training grant from the state of New York where I got my CDL license. You can also get a SEEP grant that allows you to collect unemployment while you start a small business. All kinds of resources available. Why? Because now employing or being part of the people that employ 67.1 million people in the country. You think they want to see you fail and have to deal with all of these people on the unemployment line, on the welfare line, and provide resources for all of these people that are unemployed? No, they want to see you succeed. That's why the federal government offered all of this financial assistance through the Paycheck Protection Program, loan/grant, the economic injury disaster loan to small business owners. So when you do run into these snags where government forces you to shut down or you encounter a disaster, now you have that assistance to keep yourself on your feet. On the Cash for Everyone spreadsheet, row 2, I have linked you to the Amazon Small Business Grant opportunity for $25,000. If you click that link on column C, the browser will load the following page where you can apply for this thing. You can watch my previous video where I show you how to apply for this thing. And when I say I show you, I actually go through the process of applying for this thing myself. And when you visit the spreadsheet and open up the Small Business Resources tab, you got a link at the very top labeled bit.ly/scrap notes. Upon clicking it, the browser will load up this page, which has an alpha rough draft of some responses that I submitted into an application for the Shea Moisture Grant. And upon clicking this link, the browser will load this grant reply spreadsheet, which has the responses that I have entered into my applications for these grant opportunities, for the Amazon grant, for the eBay grant. And just watch my video library and you'll see how I applied for this thing. Now, these responses are not there so you can copy and paste them and use them as your responses. This is so you can have a template from which you can structure your very own unique responses. I give you as many tools as possible so you could increase the chance of being able to win these grants. I just got a note from a viewer which reported that they won a $120,000 grant. A number have been successful at winning rental assistance, mortgage assistance, all kinds of grant programs. Now, again, as I told you, you operating a small business is not for these grant programs, not for these resources. It's something so you can have another perimeter of defense around your small business. You got your credit lines that you could set up, all kinds of things. But the number one thing is the multiple streams of income that you can generate by selling your product or service. So you got these templates, as I told you before, for the eBay Hello Alice grant that I just showed you right now, the Amazon grant. There was a Beyonce grant. She took it down already. And if you go back to the spreadsheet right here on the free education tab, I have all kinds of resources that I'll cover with you shortly, such as the YouTube Creator Academy YouTube channel, where you can learn how to do what I'm doing and collect ad money for just basically selling the attention of people that watch you. Hello Alice, they list wide variety of grant opportunities for which you can apply. The Progressive Driving Small Business Forward Fund and the Restaurant Disaster Relief Fund, the Spring Round 2023. Here are the landing pages right here, and I link you to them right here on the spreadsheet. And you can keep going down because, as I told you before, I've got grants for everyone. Because first off, the free education tab, it will teach you to become whoever you want to be, point blank. Whether you want to be an entrepreneur that sells something, everybody sells something, even if you work for someone else, because if you work for someone else, you're basically just selling your time. Whereas if you are an entrepreneur, you are selling products or services and you can have other people do the work for you. The Ahrefs blog, this is a tool that search engine optimization professionals use to gauge the competitive landscape and determine whether they have a chance of appearing for queries of targeted keywords right here. And if you want to learn how to do search engine optimization, you can visit a website that I link right here on the free education tab, probably the most powerful tab on the spreadsheet, called Big SEO. They have all of these beginner's guides to SEO. This is very powerful because you could basically have people pay you tens of thousands of dollars and you learn how to generate 10x that. So if you get paid $10,000, you will learn how to generate $100,000, and people will be happy to pay you that much because you will build their business for a lifetime. There's lifetime value, beer money, how to earn money through side hustles, Just Start subreddit. These are entrepreneur and a number of people on Reddit. They are very open and they want to help people learn how to operate small businesses or achieve their objectives. MIT Free University classes. If you want to be the next Tony Starks, start your IT training journey for free through checkout.me.com. The Google Workspace Learning Center. How to learn all this stuff. How to code, free journalism classes, you name it. And if we keep on moving through it, we've got listings for work from home jobs, work from home education, how to get capital for your small business, home repair for people who need help with home repair. This organization right here, US Aging, provides all kinds of resources for organizations that actually help people repair their homes. So you can call these people. You got to also jump on the phone to ask them, what are the opportunities available to me? As I said on a previous video, I got a training grant from the state of New York to get my CDL license. They gave me a $4,000 grant in order to have the state of New York Department of Motor Vehicles award a Class A commercial driver license. I could drive those big tractor trailers, 13-footers, Career One Stop. There are Career One Stops all across the country. And I applied for that grant through this organization. Also, many states have what's called a SEAP program where you can start a small business while collecting unemployment. You simply just have to take some classes. I was a certified instructor for the City of New York Small Business Services Division. And when people were in the SEAP program, I would have to sign off that they attended my class so they can continue to collect their benefits. There are so many resources available, and I link you to as many as possible. Assisted Living Conversion Program through HUD. Right here. Look at this. Assisted Living Conversion Program. Grant opportunity for students that if they are very technologically savvy, they're working towards becoming engineer students. This is to the United States Navy. And I link you to these opportunities right here on the same spreadsheet that I've been discussing that you can access by subscribing to our newsletter at bit.ly/Neil Rod. Well, look, for parents as well. So if you got a kid, you need help with it, the Students tab right here. Here it goes, Science and Engineering Apprenticeship Program, also called SEAP. Now, you go into the Veterans tab right here. You got resources. Does this still exist? Military Waiver Program, Veteran Reservist and Active Duty. This organization teaches you how to become a beach fitness coach. Here is a link so veterans can access discounts on prescription drugs. You get a no-fee bank account and free safe deposit box with Chase. I have a free business account with Chase. They don't charge me for money orders or for cashier's checks. They don't even charge me a monthly fee if my balance drops below $2,000. DAV, there's another organization that helps veterans, and we can just keep moving through these links right here. For people who are homeless, I have linked you to justshelter.org. I also have a homeless tab, the Military Entrepreneur Challenge application. These are grants for veteran small business owners. This is DAV, the organization that I just showed you right here. Again, there's another DAV, Employment and Entrepreneurship landing page, the Boots to Business program. I link everyone and the veterans to all of these opportunities right here on the Veterans tab. Help for homeowners. If you had trouble making mortgage payments because of a related hardship, yada, yada, yada. But there are other forms of help for homeowners too that the federal government has supplied states to help people. The Homeowner Assistance Program, it started through the pandemic. Nonetheless, $9.961 billion may not be all exhausted, so there are still organizations state to state that are still facilitating the distribution of these funds. Emergency rental assistance in the form it was distributed through the pandemic does not exist anymore. Nonetheless, you can still call these organizations and they'll tell you how to obtain emergency rental assistance. My uncle got a one-shot deal, $2,900 or $3,000 grant like 3 or 4 times from the city of New York. New York is probably one of the states that gives the most benefits to people who are in need. And I'm not biased because I'm from there. It's just simply the way it is. I go to other states and I tell people, why don't you get Medicaid? Why don't you get this? Why don't you get food? It's like over here, it's hard. It's a completely different story than New York. I know people that from all parts of the country, they go to New York to get medical treatment as if they're traveling to Mexico or something like that, or Canada to get low price drugs. They go to New York to obtain all these services. Rental assistance. Again, I link you to all these organizations. The student loan debt relief right now is blocked because the Biden administration is in court. Nonetheless, if you want to stay on top of all developments, I drop videos on how you can stay on top of any developments in regards to the student loan debt relief. You can subscribe and check back here for updates, and you can subscribe to their newsletter so they can keep you up to date. And I have all of these links right here. I showed you a number of times where I got airdrops worth USD. Airdrops are simply grants in cryptocurrency form. If you participate in this grants campaign where you donate whatever type of money in the form of Ethereum or other cryptocurrencies to organizations who are raising funds, like you would raise funds using Kickstarter or GoFundMe, then you qualified for airdrops. Some of them worth $10,000, $20,000, $1,000. I showed you a number of times. Go ahead and watch some of my video library and you'll see what I'm talking about. Google Ad Grants. This is on the nonprofits tab. So you can get a grant from Google to pay for advertising for your nonprofit, raise awareness, attract donors, and have a nonprofits tab for it. If you are a nonprofit, just to give you a little insight, you are in the best position to obtain grant funding because typically these are organizations that are nonprofit. A big part of the funds that they use to employ people to deliver these services for the good of the community come from donations and grants. So you've got the True Inspiration Award. The True Inspiration Awards program was created in 2015 to honor the legacy of Chick-fil-A, yada, yada, yada. True Inspiration Awards grants range from $30,000 to $350,000 with a collective $5 million awarded annually to organizations throughout the US and Canada. What some small businesses do, for-profit businesses do, is that they partner with these nonprofits. So they can provide services for the nonprofits, so they can help the nonprofits also obtain these grants, and they can also obtain that funding to help that small business operate in collaboration. Or if you want to start a nonprofit, I have included a link to it right here. I got the hookup to the IRS page where the federal agency instructs you on how to apply to become a 501c3 nonprofit. And thus you can qualify for the grant opportunities that I am just discussing. Medicare.gov, you've got questions about Medicare, I've got the links to that. Assisted Living Conversion Program through the HUD, Social Security, how to apply for disability. A number of you already have it, but some of you do not. Get paid as a caregiver for a family member. You can get paid to actually take care of someone who requires assisted living, that requires your help as an ad hoc nurse or nursing assistant, veterans programs for veterans right here. I include these links right here. So if you are caring for someone who requires, cooking, cleaning, personal care, medicine, you can get paid to go ahead and do that. Other grant programs available, USA.gov, disability services, they're all right here. I have included links to it right on the spreadsheet, and links to loans, again, credit lines. Go ahead and take a look at my video library, because I explain to you how to enhance your credit score, which is something that is very key, so you can have that perimeter of protection in the event you run into snags while selling something and operating your small business, so you can maintain, help and save and feed your families and the families of your employees and everyone that the true and living God has assigned to you, so you can have comprehension in your heart to best serve them and love thy neighbor. Watch the video you see on the screen right now so you can stay on top of all of these resources to grants and educational opportunities and other resources which will guide you to become whatever you want to be.